Hello and welcome back to the Indie Room, where today I'm delighted to be joined by the fantastic Vistas, all the way from Edinburgh, who are playing tonight at the Zephyr Lounge at Leamington Spa. Thank you very much for joining me here, first of all. This gig tonight is as part of your tour with Fatherson, who are another Scottish band. And I actually read somewhere on one of your previous interviews that you were influenced by them in the past. Unless I've got that wrong.
No, yeah. I mean, we started listening to Fatherson like in high school.
So before you even became
yeah,
a band, really?
yeah. I mean, like we were all pretty big fans of them like back then. Because like I remember they were signed to like quite a small label in Scotland, and they were just like self-releasing everything and putting out music videos and stuff. And it was cool to see like a band from just like an hour up the road doing that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it must be really good to play with sort of
Yeah, it's mad.
idols.
It's mad how stuff like that works out. Like
They must be more like friends these days, I suppose.
yes, yeah. It's cool. It's cool how stuff sometimes works out like that.
Yeah, going all the way over the UK with them. So anyway, your new single is the big news of the week. 18, third single from your newest EP, and a really good song. I assume it's about being the age of 18.
Yeah, kind of. It's about sort of. It's about like I was writing it about looking in on one of my pals' relationships and how they were sort of going through a bit of a hard time and reminiscing about some past times which were better and when the relationship was a bit better, and then thinking back and being like, oh, it might be alright, like it might be fine, but your memory of those past times is a bit clouded by the nostalgia of how fun it was back then when you were like 18. So that's kind of what it's about. It's kind of like a lot of our songs. It's got sort of a happy, sad quality to it.
Yeah.
So
and I suppose it's sort of filtered through, because whereas even if you're writing about someone else, it's sort of emotions that everyone's going to be feeling.
yeah, sure. I mean, it's like they're like, although it's like as you say, it focuses on one of my mates' relationships. It's the feeling I've felt it, and I'm sure these guys have felt it as well. So yeah, it is about looking back on those sort of times and being like, oh wow, it's so good, but then you can actually be like, maybe it wasn't actually that good.
Like hindsight is such a great thing.
Sure.
Well, how has life changed for you since you three were 18? Can you remember where you were at this point when you were 18?
Honestly, not a lot has changed for me. Maybe sleeping in a little bit less uncomfortable places now, on the floors sometimes.
I would say we were sleeping in more uncomfortable places now.
Yeah,
we weren't on tour when
that's
we were
what
18.
I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay, that's the opposite of what you said.
Oh.
I was at uni when I was 18.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess that's the biggest difference for me. I'm just able to focus on this a lot more now. So that's kind of the difference for me.
And in terms of that song, is there nostalgia at your own life when you were 18? Do you miss being 18 at all? It's sort of such a major age.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I mean, like I feel like I'm really old now, even though I'm not.
I feel like I'm really
Yeah, it's funny. Like you feel like because I'll be 23 on my next birthday, and I'm like, wow, that is like fucking old. That's like me. That's me like away. That's it. Like but so yeah, I mean, like, I guess the only reason I kind of want to just be 18 again is just so that I could do some of the things that we've done again. But I'm happy with how it's all gone now.
You are still young, really. Aren't you?
Yeah.
It's going all right. The EP is called Hello. Is the name sort of a nod to it being the big introduction for you to the rest of the world, or is there a different meaning behind Hello?
Yeah, I mean, we like simplistic things as well, and
we're really bad at thinking of like titles for stuff, so we didn't really want to like think of like the song lyrics and find something that we thought would be good for the EP. We just thought Hello was quite like short and sweet, and Ashley said it's like sort of a proper introduction to who we are, and we feel like the 4 tracks probably really sum up what our band does quite well.
Yeah. And 18 and the EP is 18 is I don't know if you know this, you probably do, but it's your 12th release on Spotify, including the acoustic version of Calm, which is like that's an album's worth of material.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And you haven't got an album yet. But I suppose with that many songs, there must be quite a few that you've discarded, because I know personally, I play guitar, I try to write songs. There's a lot of ideas that get thrown in the bin. So for that many releases, how many of your ideas do you end up not taking, and how many do you actually turn into songs?
Not too many, to be honest. Like, I think most of the stuff we write, we end up being pretty happy with it.
And is it as a band? Is that why it's?
Well, I mainly write the stuff, and then we'll work it out as a band. Like, and because when you rehearse a song, you learn the things that work as a band that don't work when you're just recording it at home, like straight into your computer. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's like, so far anyway, it's been quite a good like success rate for just having songs that we're quite happy with. I mean, there's a couple of songs we don't really play that much anymore that we used to play, and there's a couple of songs I guess we didn't record, but yeah, like, I think, yeah, I guess we're quite fortunate in that sense that, like, we don't go through like hundreds and hundreds of songs and then get one good one and then like have to do that process again. But yeah,
but it's sort of a progression, isn't it? It's like almost maturity. So those old songs that you don't play anymore probably eventually will just get filtered out completely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but that's kind of what just happens with most bands.
There's always like, there's a couple of old ones which, well, we still play Sign Language, which was like our first release.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just like, because we've always played it and people have enjoyed it, so it's been harder to filter it.
Yeah. Was Sign Language the first song that you wrote as a band?
Yeah, either Sign Language or Small Towns. Probably was Sign Language, so I can't exactly remember, but probably was Sign
Do you remember
Language.
the first song you wrote as individuals or in your life? And do you know where that is now? Where they are?
I think, like, I remember like cleaning out my room and I found like lyrics like that I'd written for a song, and I think it was when I like had learned like a couple of chords on guitar in school. But like from writing whatever that was, I can't even remember how it goes or anything, but from writing that to like when I actually wrote like a song for the first time was like a pretty big jump. Like, I didn't actually properly get into writing songs until I was maybe about 16.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I wish I could remember how it went.
Yeah.
There's that Raspberry one or whatever it was.
I mean, that was like 5 songs in, like from like my very first song of like writing an actual song.
Was that ever a Vistas song?
No, that was like it was just like
any
it was like
bands.
Apprentice recording himself and putting it on Facebook song. It wasn't even like a band song. It was just.
But I suppose the reason, like I said, that they get dropped or that you don't even remember them now is just because they weren't good enough.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for sure.
Do you think you've got better at songwriting?
I mean, I would hope so. I mean, yeah, like I would hope so. At least I don't have to upload them to Facebook myself anymore.
Yeah.
He still does, but
Acoustic versions. Well, you guys were, as I've read, in a band or at least playing together before Vistas. So was being a musician sort of your childhood dream from when you were like primary school age, or is it sort of a thing that's happened more when you've grown up as a teenager and realised that you could play as a band together?
I guess probably speak for all of us when I say when we're about like 12 or 13 or something in high school, and we're all like, well, for me, I played Guitar Hero and I thought that was like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I should maybe actually play real guitar. But yeah, just like watching videos of bands live on YouTube, like Green Day, like Arctic Monkeys, like bands that you first get into when you're in high school, and then that's just like amazing. That's just like the dream.
What about you two? Was it because I wanted to be a footballer, but now that sort of is filtered out, and I wanted to become a musician from the age of 16ish. That was sort of the.
I'd probably be about the same as you, to be honest, man. Like I kind of wanted to be an astronaut for a long time, but yeah, I mean, it could still happen. But like I was like banging into that when I was in primary school, and then it wasn't really till I went to high school that I liked doing performance sort of stuff, and I'd like I found it quite cool to like perform in front of people, and then like to get a reaction from people was nice. So I think that was really the main thing which inspired me to sort of pursue that as a career of some description. And I think that is still a big part of why I love like playing live so much, is because getting a reaction from a crowd is like such a rewarding thing.
That's the kick, isn't it?
Yeah, well, to be fair, I think I wouldn't be doing music if it wasn't for Apprentice.
Oh, really?
I used to like listen to a lot of heavy stuff. Don't know why. Like, I don't want to listen to it anymore.
Like metal.
And I suppose so, because my brother kind of liked it, so I thought I'd need to like it. Yeah, Kiss is fair enough. I mean, Kiss are all, like amazing. And
They're awesome.
I was going to say awesome, but I was not going to say it. No, but Apprentice showed me The View, like The Strokes, like all these really cool indie bands.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to cut my hair, and like I had really long hair at the time. So I was like, I had to actually listen to some music that I actually like. I didn't really like all that heavy stuff. I just done it because my brother. And then me and Prentice started playing guitar in music class.
Yeah.
And just like covers, like playing chords or whatever. And like he would, I suppose, sing or something. It was really good.
Yeah.
And I think that me and Prentice, our first band was when 15 maybe.
15 or 16.
15 or
It's hard to
16.
remember like the exact age you were
Feels so
back
long
then.
ago, yeah.
Like, but
yeah, since then, again, in primary school, in my yearbook, I said I wanted to be a musician, but
really?
never really think it was going to happen. And even in high school, I didn't think it was going to happen. And when we released Sign Language, I kind of hoped it would happen, but again, it's not really that realistic. But yeah, since, going back to my earlier question, since then I've not really looked back. Just keep going.
Yeah, it's happening
Keep working
now.
on it, yeah.
I think like a big thing for all of us was like music class in school.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like
yeah, sure.
really important for like young people.
Yeah.
Listening to music and stuff.
If you have like, I mean, like there's a lot of people who like when you play gigs and stuff. A lot of people come up to you and they say like they wish they could be in bands and stuff, but they've never learned an instrument or whatever.
Yeah.
And like it's funny because those people obviously have that drive to be in bands and write songs and play music, but if at school, if you don't necessarily have like a nice music department that'll do these things for you, then you might not get those things.
Yeah.
And you might not be able to like pursue those interests, and you might just fall out. But I mean, I guess we were pretty lucky in that sense, and the fact that we all knew each other and all liked similar music, that kind of helped. I mean, it was kind of really easy then because we could all just slot in and just be a band. You know what I mean?
Was there a music teacher who?
Yeah, Mr. Perry.
Mr. Perry, yeah.
Perry.
I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Oh yeah, I was going to
Good
ask
man.
if there was one person who sort of, if you got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or something, who would you thank? Would it be?
Mr. Perry.
Oh, Mr. Perry has to get a good shout. Yeah, I mean he was like class like for getting you into just like
That's amazing.
getting you really into music. Yeah, it was great.
Perfect. We'd all love a teacher like that. But
Yeah.
you were talking about playing live, and Vistas formed about 3 years ago now, officially, wasn't it? So I assume you've played a lot of live shows.
Sure, yeah.
And you were talking about sort of how for you performing is quite it's a pleasing thing, as I'm sure it is for all of you. But as time has gone on, has it become easier to perform, or do you still get nervous, or did you ever get nervous? Do you find it natural to be up on stage?
Yeah, it's a lot more natural. I think our live shows come on like a great deal since since we started as a band, but even in the past year, I think it's come on like leaps and bounds, to be honest. And I think just as performers and as like musicians, I think we've come quite a long way. Like since we've started, since the EP as well, that was sort of a turning point, just because we were in the studio for a solid week just working on one thing, and I think that made us think a lot more about the music and then how we would do that justice live, because it's all well and good just like playing the songs, but you want to try and make every gig that you play really special for people who've paid money to come. Yeah, absolutely. So I think definitely now we're a lot more natural on stage, and I think it is actually I'm pretty happy with our live show. I'm pretty proud of it now.
Practice.
Yeah, for sure. But back at the start, I think it was quite funny. We actually were quite good at the start, and then we got way worse, and then we're now better again. I mean, better than we were at the start still, but it was like a weird sort of spiral like that. But yeah.
Why was that? Was it?
I don't know. I just think I don't really know. It's just like we just got a wee bit shit for a while, and then we got better though.
And then you wrote that song, and you thought, now we better put F in.
Yeah.
Sound wise, your guys' music is quite well. It's all even if the lyrics are quite melancholy sometimes, it's all pretty upbeat and happy. One thing I've noticed though. A lot of people lose their accent when they sing, but your accent, Prentice, is quite profound in your music. Is that something that you have done deliberately, or is it just the way you've always sung?
No, I mean it's just like I just sing in my normal voice, so it just cuts through, I guess.
I think it's quite funny because we don't really we don't really think about it. We don't I suppose when you hear people around you from the same place, you don't think that there is an accent. You just but there obviously is.
Because the Scottish singers who you hear sing and they don't sound Scottish. But
yeah, sure.
Yeah, it definitely comes through.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a conscious decision. It's not I just literally sing in my normal voice. So that's just how it is.
Authenticity to it, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe that's just. I mean, folk from Liam Frey sings in his accent and Alex Turner and Night Cafe and loads of bands sing in their own accent and it cuts through. But I don't. It's definitely not a conscious decision.
Finally, last question. I was on the Vistas Spotify page. You've got a playlist called Vistas Vibes. At the bottom, you've got Billie Jean by Weezer on there, the cover.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, have you guys as a band got a song that you really like to cover, and what is your best?
Right, I want to cover Highway to Hell by AC/DC. But I want to sing, I want to have the mic, but I don't think the guys will let me do it.
Well, they're not, maybe one day in the future.
Maybe, and by that, I mean definitely not.
I just hate doing covers.
We love the song No Reptiles.
That's the one exception.
Have you ever heard it?
That's one that we just sing.
It's called No Reptiles by Everything.
Oh,
and the guy, as you know, he sings so quickly, and it sounds so good. And we listen to it.
It's a class song.
10 times a day, maybe 10 times a day. Listen to it all the time.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Just slip that into your set one day.
One day. For 4 minutes,
Yeah. Well, Vistas, thank you very much.
No worries.
No worries, man.
Time to talk to me today. Don't forget you can subscribe to the Indie Room on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at @the_indie_room for more music news and reviews and interviews. But for now, from me and Vistas,